few months ago I bought this telephone. It was really cheap. Some kind of bizarre looking man in a dark alley asked me if I was interested. I said, why not, if the price is right? And indeed the price was right. And now I think maybe I could use it as a camera. See this backside here is this camera thing. So I made a little camera holder with a rubber band. So now if you see my daughter and you think her hair is a little bit wild, that's normal because I have her elastic for hair. And then I bolted this little screw on. I think that should work. Let's give it a try. I don't even know what is upside down, downside up on this thing. Let's make some movies.
Before we start, I would like to point out something. Last week I've been a little bit sick, so I didn't have the time to prepare some new videos to post this week and next week. And it could be for 90% chance that it was the coronavirus. And why am I showing you this kiwi? Because this one, it's my daughter that bought this one. I have not the right to go out. I have not the right to go in the supermarkets and all. So she's going and she bought this kiwi. Now the story is, this kiwi comes from Italy, and by truck Italy is about 2 days driving. And for me that proves that the transport world is still working. If we even can import kiwis from Italy, 2 days drive, I think we will survive. Put it aside. I also received stickers from Ede's workshop. So Ede, I will put your sticker on my cheap door, and then after we will continue. As you can see, Ede, I did put your sticker on my cheap door with all the other YouTube friends here. I hope you like the spot. Now, because this week I didn't have lots of time, and I did not any preparations for video making, so maybe I thought, why not waste a bit of our precious time to answer some questions. Sometimes there comes questions in the comment section, or I receive questions by email. I received an email from Pedro, and this email was in Portuguese. So I had to use Google Translate, and I hope I understand your question, Pedro. So we'll see. If I got it right, you need some help to make a tool to redo the dovetails on your quick change tools, tool post, tool holders, or make new tool holders or something. Now, first I wanted to make a video and send it to Pedro, and then I said, why not share it with everyone? So let's go for it. If I got it right, Pedro wants to make tool holders for his quick change tool post. and he's asking me how to grind the tools and how maybe to set up this whole system. Now I don't have a quick change tool post, but I took my lathe apart, and here I have a beautiful little dovetail which could be the tool post. Post, not holder. Tool holder will be this part. Just a second. First of all, make sure the tool post is aligned with your machine. If that is aligned, make sure it's parallel. You can use your dial indicator. I suppose that's not a big problem. To measure the dovetail, you take a parallel, hold it in place. You can put a clamp or something, whatever. And now you have the same angle here. And you can run the indicator, this indicator, you can run up and down and then change the angle if it wants to, until you have the right angle. I looked around a bit on the internet and I saw that the quick change tool post, the dovetails of it, are several times it's 60 degrees. If yours is indeed 60 degrees, you will see that now this angle is 30. Very important to notice 30 degrees. If this one is 60, there's something completely wrong. This one, I'm gonna choose the side we can see the best. This will be the tool holder. Important to know this side, make it the same height. Yeah? This will be the reference. Take care, it's aligned with the line of the ram. Use your dial indicator. And then, where did I put my cutting sheet? If you install the cutting tool, make sure that there's a relief angle between the bottom side and the side of the tool. 1 or 2 degrees is enough, because this dovetail will be 60 degrees. Make your cutting tool at maximum, let's say 58, so you have a little bit of free angle in the bottom side and a free angle in the 60 degree side. Of course, my workpiece is not fixed. Take care the clapper box is in the right angle. Turn away from the part. What we're gonna do in this situation, we're gonna use the point to cut. Cut only with the point, not the sides. Which means we're gonna cut, I'm gonna move the part, not the tool, but officially, of course, it's a tool that's moving. Start here. Take very light cuts. And we stop at the 0 point. Same thing we do at the 60 degree angle. It's a bit hard to turn here. Start at the top, cut down. Use always the point. And you will see that indeed the clapper box now is in the right angle, because the tool is moving away from the cut. As a finished pass, you take maybe 1/10 of a millimeter or 1/20 of a millimeter. Cut down to the 0 point and then come out again in one movement. That's perfectly possible. This side is finished. Take your part out, flip it around, cut the other one. What I think is the best solution to make dovetails on the shaper is to use the basic idea of the thread cutting tool for the lathe. Of course, the thread cutting tool has an angle 60 degrees for metric or 55 for Whitworth. If we use the 60 degrees, it will not work because we don't have this relief angle. Let's make it a bit bigger on the blackboard. This must be nice and pointy, of course. Rake angle as usual for steel, because I suppose you're gonna make your tool holes in steel and not in cast iron, between 7 degrees and 10 degrees. Maybe a bit more, but don't make it too aggressive. I see too much tools, they're too aggressive and they wanna dig in. Don't. Make it more 7 degrees and 10 degrees. This surface here, this surface of course, 0 degree, because we're not gonna use it. We have this 7 degree rake angle, so we don't need officially these two sides. Take the point off and you make this about 1/2 millimeter. That will do. A bit rounded. Of course, the same free angle here. Leave it about 4 degrees, and then this combined angle. If the dovetail is 60 degrees, -2 will give you 56 degrees. So Pedro, I hope it helped you out a bit. Unfortunately, I did not any machining to show you because for the moment I don't have the time to prepare all these things to show you properly. But you will let me know if you have other questions. Please do not hesitate to send me a mail. That's not only for Pedro, that's of course for everyone. Leave a comment and we'll see what we can do. Alright, over to the next project. What did I mark here? Over time I also received a lot of questions about my belt sander. Now this is, as you can see, a homemade belt sander, but it's based on a shoemaker's machine. For a few years I worked in the shoe repair and leather works, and I had this machine, and it was about 2.5 meters long, and it weighs about 500 kilos, and there were 2 belts like this and there were end mill systems, and there were brushes. If you want, I will show you. And the basic idea is, if you have a shoe, now this is an old plastic boot, one of my kids, and we need to redo it. First, of course, we work this surface. Draw a line here, cut this old part out, and then glue the new part on. Voila, no problem. With the end mill system, we cut out the rough form, and here we can do the finishing. Now, fell to the floor. That's why there's no table on this machine, because on the original machine, of course, there's no table either, because you need to do this movement. And the trick is, of course, if you start too high, the belt will grab your shoe and throw it down in the machine. That's not a good idea. So you start under and pull it up. And sometimes people panic when they see me work other things on this machine, but don't worry, I'm used to it. For years you do the same movement, up, and do the same movement on this side, and do the same movement on this side, and on this side. So this machine, no table needed. There is of course the center adjustment. You move the whole motor. Let me put my shoe on the floor. You tilt the whole motor to center the belt and then just lift it up, take the belt off, put a new one on, ready to go. This one, for the moment, I don't use it because it's also a 3-phase motor, but inside now he's in star configuration, and there's so little room to work to change the wires. I think it's too dangerous. This is an old motor. The electric system and the wires are getting old too, so I'm a bit afraid of shortcuts inside, so it's condemned. Now this thing, normally, take my shoe again, you can do this finishing work. This is a really handy thing to have, works extremely well. The final touch, this is really good. And unfortunately, where I live now, this here now is 3-phase 220, and this one is a 3-phase 380. Cannot change. I changed the others, but this one not possible. Of course, you also have this, if it still works. That sometimes a bit you see this tilting system, very handy. Put what angle you need, and then there's the little pin if you want to take it off. It's a bit rusty. Rusty. You can take it off. I suppose you get the point. There's no spring behind this motor. It's just the weight of the motor that's keeping the belt tight. That's all. And this is a part, of course, of the neighbor's car, not my car. And then the other one is exactly the same idea, but I do not use the wheel to push on. This is more the traditional belt sander. I will take the belt off, I can see it better. Voila, lift the motor, take the belt off. This is handy because this table I can tilt, I can turn it away, and I have this flat surface. Of course, all homemade from nothing. And this is the adjusting system. It tilts the whole electric motor left to right, right to left to center the belt. I also received a few questions about the camera I'm using. Well, now I can show you. This one is the Canon PowerShot, and for me it's a perfect little camera. It's not too heavy. What is nice is that the fixing point is in the middle. Most of cameras, the fixing point is here in the side. It's on this side, and you push to start on this side, and your whole camera is moving. This one, it's okay, it's a good one. The only downside for me is the sound quality. The image quality I think is really good. In the first videos I posted on YouTube, I used the Windows 10 software that you can find in Windows 10 Photos, and there is a editing program, and the image quality is really not that good. Now I'm using an open source editing program. It's a free download, so no problem, and it's really easy to use, and I always use it, but I had a computer that was a bit limited, so the image quality was better than before, but was not really that good. And now I use another computer, and I figured out how I can raise the image quality, because I'm not a computer specialist, you know, I do what I can. But I think this camera gives perfect image. If you want, you can compare. This now is my cell phone filming, and the previous video is done, and all previous video is all done with this little camera. So no machining in this video, and I'm really sorry for that, but I didn't have the time. Really don't have the time, but we'll be okay. You will see next video. We'll be back in the machining. Now, one last question I would like to answer, and that's sometimes it comes back, and that is, of course, what is hidden behind the cheap door? Let's take a look. Oh shit, no more battery.